Okay. Hey, exciting. All right. So this week I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I've had a few people come to me about, ask me questions about, say that they struggle with. And then when we were at Leaders Retreat last week, John Maxwell in his teaching, his leadership teaching, touched on it a little bit. And so I wanted to really go over attracting business builders and what kind of people we're attracting by the things that we're doing and posting and the lifestyle we're living and the things we're saying and all of that. And so you may have done this exercise before in another training or Zoom, but it's something I've done before, but it's good to think about. So if you think about who you want to be a business builder on your team, you think of what type of person you would want to have running alongside you. And you think about the qualities that those person would have. You want them to be self-motivated and driven and passionate about something, and maybe social media savvy, or at least willing to learn, maybe coachable if you know them a little better. And, you want them to be a natural leader, at least have some traits that might help them become a great leader later on, because leadership is definitely something that is learned. Leaders are not just like, poof, I'm a leader now. Like, you really have to put some work into it. And you want them to be bold, and you want to be, people that are comfortable being outspoken about something and really stand behind something. And so I want us to think about all those qualities that we would want in a leader or a business builder, and think about how we rate on each one of those qualities, right? Are we self-motivated? Are we being bold? Are we sharing passionately? Are we showing that we're driven? Are we someone who appears very trustworthy and positive and, has integrity, things like that. So think about how you are exemplifying those traits, and think about the kind of law of leadership that John Maxwell states, that you're going to attract whatever you put off, right? So, and maybe even like John Maxwell used like the 1 through 10, right? Like if you're like a level 5 leader, you might be attracting like 4s and 3s and 2s, right? Or you're level 5, 6 in your business. You're going to attract people that are at your level or below, because the people that are maybe a better business builder, a better leader, then you might be attracted to something else, someone who's higher and better and all of that, just like we are attracted to people who are maybe more skilled than us at certain things. So think about those traits that you would want in a business builder on your team, and are you exemplifying those traits? And I want us to always remember that people are going to buy into who you are and what you represent and how you present yourself way before they're ever going to buy in to the business that you're representing, or the products that you're representing, or what you're trying to educate them about. So it matters, as you can imagine, if you have credibility and integrity and passion and boldness and all of that, and positivity. People aren't attracted to people who are negative, and all of those things matter so much in the things that you're sharing and in your posture when you speak with people, and your confidence. So that's really important, because you need to be giving off exactly what you want to get back. And there's a lot of growth to be done there. I mean, I've done a lot of growing over the last couple years to become the more bold, passionate, confident person that I am. A lot of that came with education on our opportunity and products to become more confident in speaking about them with people. But another piece of that is belief in myself, that I can do this, and I know I'm worthy of having goals and dreams and working towards them. There's no shame in my game in saying this is what I'm working towards, and share that with people. Say, I'm a part of this opportunity. I'm excited about it. Here's what I'm working towards, and I can't wait for it to make this happen for my family, or whatever. Share things like that, because that hope and that excitement is something to be really proud of, because people have admiration for people who are committed to working towards their goals. And to see someone who is committed to becoming better and striving for more and providing more for themselves and their families is something that is really attractive and very exciting and very positive to be sharing, and it's uplifting and inspiring. So something to think about when you're kind of thinking about how you're branding yourself on social media, and even in face-to-face. What kinds of conversations are you having with people? What kinds of things are you sharing? How do you present yourself? Things like that. And just remember, on the back end of that, you need to be your own rock star as well. So you want to put up you know, on social media and in your social interactions, you need to be that, you know, bold, passionate, confident, inspiring person. But you also need to have the activity to back that up. So imagine if you got a business builder on your team, if they did the IPAs or income producing activities that you did today, would they be effectively working in their business, right? So if you attracted people and got them on your team and they did what you were doing, would you have a successful team? So think about what you're doing day to day. You need to commit to really making the time to do the work, and not making excuses, because would you want a business builder that does that? No, you want someone committed to working towards their dreams and setting goals and setting a timeline and making it happen, and you know, setting aside time to work their business effectively, and not you know, wasting time with group chatter, for example. We always think that's like an IPA, and like, no, like spending time in group chats is not an IPA. So something to think about, as well as branding yourself on social media. On the back end too, you need your business and work ethic to reflect that as well, because you need to talk the talk, but also walk the walk. People can see right through that. If you're somebody who's been working, maybe on the back end, you're doing a lot of work, but you're not really presenting yourself in a bold, passionate way, you're not going to attract a lot of people. So maybe you're spinning your wheel on the back end, but you're not doing the branding on the front end, and you're not sharing properly. That's not going to work out. And if you're sharing, that's awesome. But if you're not doing the back end work and setting aside time to work your business, send out those cold messages and do the follow-ups and invite people to events and put on events and all that, that's not going to pan out either. So you have to have hand in hand those two pieces of your business to make that happen. I was going through a couple of my favorite Diamonds trainings on this, to kind of compare with my notes of the things I was thinking about after a leaders retreat. And I had a few kind of bullet points that I wanted to kind of hit home tonight. But I talked a little bit about making the choice to set aside the time and do the work, and maybe tweak the things that need to be tweaked in your posts or in your work ethic, or in your belief. If you need to focus on, you know, positive affirmations, telling yourself that I am someone who is, you know, worthy of having these accomplishments. I'm somebody who attracts business builders. I am positive. I have a momentum-filled team. You know, things like that. I attract people who are positive leaders and self-motivated business builders. You know, saying positive affirmations like that are really going to help, because if you're somebody who thinks about struggling with finding business builders for your team, a lot of your self-talk probably has to do with, oh, I just can't find anybody. Oh, it's just me doing this by myself. Oh, nobody's working. Well, what you're saying to yourself is happening. So you are literally breathing it into existence. So how about turning that around and saying something a little more positive, that you are going to attract business builders and all that stuff I said before, and you are somebody who can influence and inspire people and reach people, and you do effective work and things like that. You are productive, and you have a good team growing, you know, things like that. So as you are sharing, a couple things to think about. Know who your desired business builder is. So who is that demographic for you? What does that person look like for you? What does their day look like? What are they interested in? Is it someone who's similar to yourself? If you're branding yourself in a certain manner on social media, find some kind of niche that you can speak to. Now, you might notice I'm very specific with being who I am. I'm a stay-at-home boy mom who's pregnant, right? Toddler mom. So a lot of my day-to-day relates to those things. And so I share at certain times that I know maybe moms my age and my demographic with a similar family structure might be active on social media, right? Or people my age that are in my friend circles, maybe my warm market, or maybe extended like secondary warm market. I know a lot of, you know, I'm going to be almost 30 soon. I'm almost 29, but I was going to say late 20s. You know, people my age a lot of them are in their maybe second, third job out of college, and some of them are still, you know, single or just got married, things like that. So maybe just starting their family. So I take that to heart too. I'm trying to find people that I relate to, and maybe they're in corporate America and they have a 9 to 5. And so they are free, at 5:15 p.m., they're ready to jet home, check Facebook, and get set up for dinner or whatever. And so think about when your people are available and when you can speak to them the most. So just know that when you're sharing, that not everyone is going to be available when you're available, but know who you're talking to and who your messaging is going to, and who you're trying to attract with those qualities we said earlier. And talk about the business a lot. Not everyone is on Facebook every time you're on Facebook, obviously. And not everyone is going to see everything you post. And you might be attracting a lot of wholesale customers, which is wonderful because they really make up the bulk of our businesses. But if you're really going to go after some business builders, we need to share about the opportunity. And it's hard in the beginning, I know, because I've started just like everyone here. First I wasn't even silver, and then I was silver, and then I was like trying to make gold. I got it. I got through the ranks, and I understand it's hard to talk about the business when you don't have a big financial testimony. But the thing is, even just like $100 a month could be a game changer for somebody. So talking about what even just a couple $100 a month, or even your $50, paycheck, whatever, commission on your products that helps make your products cheaper and more affordable for your family, that could be something that is really important for someone to hear about, because maybe they're struggling with some health issues, or they, want to find a way to make some extra money, and they're seeing you start out and be making money. You're making extra money, having the extra financial wiggle room. That's something to share about in the beginning, that you can share about all the time. Heck, we just got a paycheck, right? I think I just checked my email. We just got paid, didn't we? Yeah. So, look at how much that was. And if you had anybody join your team this past week, what can you do with that money? And in the meantime, you have so many friends in our Plexus network that are hitting some pretty big financial goals and hitting some pretty big ranks. And they're going on trips, and they're getting their cars, and they're having all kinds of financial freedom, or they have so many diamonds have wonderful financial, nothing to everything stories that we can share all the time. And they're, sorry, my husband just got home, and they're there for the taking, so share other people's stories as well. You can reference them, and you never know what kind of experience someone might be having in their life. So if somebody is a single mom, there's stories for single moms. If somebody is a medical professional, there's stories about medical professionals and teachers, and whatever, any profession there is, any demographic there is, there's a really successful person in Plexus that can match that story and speak to them. So we can find those stories, save those stories. I have so many of them saved on my Facebook saved list that I kind of go back to and think about who I'm going to kind of reach that week or that month or whatever. Kind of think about that. I was watching somebody's post about or somebody's video about who you're marketing yourself towards, and really getting specific on who your potentials are for that week or that couple weeks can work in your favor big time. Interacting with them on Facebook is one thing, but then detailing your post to the people that you're trying to reach can be really important. So have a narrow view of who you're trying to speak to, because if you're trying to speak to everybody, you're kind of speaking to no one at the same time. So know who you're looking for, post at appropriate times, and post content that is relevant to them, and make sure that the I don't want to say persona, that's the wrong word, but make sure that the things that you're sharing and the way you're branding yourself speak to those groups of people as well. And share about the opportunity, because they wouldn't know anything about it if you didn't share it. So if you've only been sharing about the products, they have no idea there's a business opportunity in it or what that even looks like. And, don't be shy about sharing an income graphic. Those are great. Plexus made that for us for a reason. You can share that and say, either if you want to say, I'm this rank, I'm working towards this rank, or my friends just, last month we had XYZ rank up to these ranks. I'm so excited for those people. I can't wait till I'm there. Imagine that kind of, financial freedom and time freedom and everything. You can reference, all the trips everybody's been on, going to leaders retreat, all that. There's so many opportunities to share stories and even share some of the numbers with the income disclosure and stuff. Don't feel shy about sharing that because it's something that people are genuinely curious about. It usually stops people in their scrolling when there's financial numbers on the screen. That's something that people will dig deeper into and look at. So I like to sometimes also share maybe even a diamond documentary underneath like a post that might be about the financial opportunity, about somebody who has an inspiring story of mine. So for me, so if you're sharing something about the opportunity and have the income graphic or whatever, sometimes in the comments, it's kind of nice to say like, I just saw this story, or I just read this about whatever, this teacher, and like it rang true with me for this much, and I loved her story because of this. Like, you have to watch it, whatever. Connect the Diamond documentary link to that as well, because some people will click on that, and you never know. Like, maybe there's a teacher out there that's trying to find another way to make some income, or maybe there's, like I said, there's like every profession ever, every young 20 somethings. There's I don't even know, 30, 40, 50 something. I mean, hello, whatever. We have everybody in this business is kind of all up and down the ranks. So just be wise about sharing about the opportunity, and don't be shy about it, because there's a lot to be shared. One thing that I did, so about, it was probably last year. I think it was when I was going Ruby last year. Yeah, last July. I started really cold messaging by leading with the business. And I was very nervous about that, because I didn't want to come across as like this gold digger who's just looking for income. But I'd gone through the ranks pretty quickly early on in my journey, and I'd kind of seen that there was a standstill coming. And so, and you kind of get into a little bit of slower months in the like late summer, early fall. That tends to happen. Then it picks all back up again. Like after the holidays, it's like party time again. And so I remember going Ruby in July of 2016 and being like, I need to find some new business builders. I have a really solid team beneath me, but that new growth isn't quite there yet. I didn't have enough people, I thought, to carry me like to get to Emerald, say. Like I was really trying to look at the structure of my team and say, oh my gosh, like I need to get my team ready. I need more people to like walk with me on this journey and link arms with me and work for this, and so I started leading with the business in my cold messaging. I started being very specific on who I was looking for, and I would make sure I had a relationship going with them. I wasn't like out of the blue just cold messaging random people. But I really took the time to get to know what they were interested in their life, what it seems that brought them happiness, what they were kind of working towards, the kind of things that they shared, what they were interested in, and what qualities about them made me think that they would be very, very good at this business. And I shared that with them. I complimented them. I tried to find some common ground with them. I really tried to reach out to them in a way that was very organic and in a way that was complimentary, and let them know that I really thought they could be very, very successful for XYZ reasons. And their success would also help them meet whatever goals they wanted to. Like if there's somebody who's super into travel, I, mention that like, oh my gosh, how great would it be if you could, just go here anytime you wanted, and you could work from here, and you wouldn't have to come back and take time off work and whatever, and surprisingly, I had a lot of people come back to me, and more responses than I got messaging about the products, because people love to be flattered and complimented. So they often will respond with a positive message back to you, just thanking you for reaching out to them, and thank you for your, positive words. And sometimes it's congratulations about something, or, they've done something recently, or asking about a trip they went on or whatever. Oftentimes they'll get back to you a lot more than just cold messaging about the products. But also I was surprised at how many people genuinely were interested in the business that I never I never thought they were really looking for anything, but a lot of people are very, very open to it that you don't realize, that maybe don't have any outward health issues. So you wouldn't think about messaging them about the products. I messaged them about the business, and they were very like surprisingly interested in it, which I thought was great. And also I had a lot of people who maybe said, oh, thanks for saying, you know, all these positive things. And, you know, I'm not super interested in business right now, but I've seen you post about blah, blah, blah. And tell me more about your products, because I've actually thought they were kind of interesting. And you can go into the products. And so it gives you like another layer of conversation that you can have instead of them just like shutting you down about the products. So you start your cold messaging on a really positive tone in a way that's really non-threatening by, you know, complimenting them and relating to them and being organic in your communication and expressing why you think they would be so good at this. And everybody loves to be complimented. And I've never gotten more responses to like a cold messaging blitz is what I called it. I did like a ton of cold messaging, like 100 and something people in like 3 weeks. It was crazy. But I got a lot of responses back, and I had a lot of people join my team. I want to say, actually, I know this for a fact. In July of 2016, I had 15 new ambassadors that month. Like, that's crazy. Like, personally sponsored new ambassadors. That's my record month, by the way. I've never gone over that, but that was crazy. And so I committed to do that. And I said, you know what? I need these people. I'm going to go find them. I know who they are. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to really hone in on the kind of person I'm looking for and tailor my messages accordingly. I wasn't copy and pasting. I was custom making every single message and really customizing all my communications with people. And it really surprised me at how well that went over. I was scared out of my seat. I mean, I have to tell you that. I was freaked out that, you know, what were people going to think of me and whatever. Like, I totally am somebody who cares about that, which is terrible at this point. I should like not even care. But that was scary for me. And I was so surprised at how effective it was. So that's something to think about. Committing to, when you do cold messaging, a lot of you guys are in the, Maui Bound Rockstars group. So we'll probably do a lot of more cold messaging in that group as it goes on. But think about that. Think about leading with the business because you will find some surprise business builders that will really surprise you. What else? Oh, when you were talking, I said this a little bit earlier, but when you're sharing on social media as well as when you're talking to people about the business opportunity, first of all, make sure you're educated on it. Practice in the mirror if you have to, if you're talking, you know, with your voice, if not typing. But educate yourself on how to present the opportunity in a way that is enticing and relatable and doesn't just like spit numbers at people. So, I said sharing the income graphic is awesome. Like, that's great, like for like a post on social media, but really learn how to ask people maybe what their family is working towards, or what their next trip is, or what their next event is in life. And maybe it's saving for a house. Maybe it's they're paying for a wedding. Maybe they're going on trying to save for a family vacation, or go visit a family member back east, or whatever it is. Try and find out what's going on in their life and try to paint a picture for them that Plexus can help them get there. Right? So we want to make this opportunity something that's relatable and tangible and palpable for people. And you can mention to them how we are going to help you get there. Like, I am here to help you make that happen. Like, you need $500 like next month. Awesome. Like, we have a game plan to make that happen. And I think you would rock it because of X, Y, Z. Like, you're so good at this and this and this. And so walk them through that, have them take a little bit of your belief and feed it to them, right? So take a little bit of your passion and belief and boldness and just try and kind of give it to them a little bit as a little gift, like instill it in them. Like, you can do this. Anyone can do this. Anyone from any walk of life has been successful in this business already. So it's not something that people need to be fearful of, because so many people have gone before us and been successful and made amazing things happen, and they can do it too because they have the qualities to make it happen, and we have the long line of leadership and training materials to make it happen for them and walk alongside them. So when you're speaking with people, be very confident about what they can accomplish, because it's true. I mean, the unthinkable has been accomplished in this business. You've probably all heard stories of the people that are just amazingly successful, and anyone can do it. And so it's not something that's out of reach. It's just knowing how to communicate that to people and how to be very, very confident when you are communicating that to people. And if you're wishy-washy about it, they're going to be wishy-washy about it. Okay. So if you're not super confident and super passionate and super bold, and you're not boldly sharing the opportunity, people aren't going to join you that are gung-ho about the opportunity. They're just not. So you have to be comfortable with sharing about the opportunity, share about the business, share the financials sometimes, share those people who achieve things. And the more and more people watch these success stories over and over, they're going to start asking you or thinking about more and more about Plexus. And then when you message them, try to lead with the business sometimes, unless it's somebody who has like an overt like health issue or something that you saw a testimony that totally is them and you thought of them and send it to them and whatever. That's kind of like a different case. But, really leading with the business and focusing on that and being wise about how you're sharing that can totally change your business. It did for me, and I've watched it happen over the past year. And it's been pretty incredible. So, and once, people join you or people are interested in joining you, like I talked about, having them kind of almost set goals for themselves accidentally, and you're kind of feeding them those like, Plexus can help you do this and X, Y, and Z. And if you, want to do this next month, like, great, we can get you there. But, we need this people and these many people, we have this event going on. And, you totally are laying it all out there. Like, if they are ready to do it, we are ready to help them. And so let them see that quick success can happen, right? So, and quick success might mean, a couple customers so they're getting a paycheck in their pocket, or going silver in their first month or something like that. Let them see that if they have a couple friends or a family member or whoever that can do it with them, awesome. Like, we can get them there and they will make X amount of money or whatever. And then the next month, keep it rolling and talk to them about the training opportunities and all of that. So if you can paint this picture with people that you're talking to, that success is available very early on, because it is, you'll be, much more likely to have them be more enticed by the opportunity, rather than just saying, oh yeah, there's a business opportunity, if you're interested. Like, no one cares about that. Like, they don't even know about it. So it doesn't matter unless you paint a picture for them of how it can change their life and how it can really affect their goals. And understanding their goals is part of that. So let's see, what else did I have? I kind of talked a lot. Sorry. Oh, 30 minutes. Okay. I talked about affirmations. Oh yeah, I do try to, like, every night tell myself that I'm kind of one of those people that like didn't want to do affirmations at all. I thought they were like totally like hocus pocus, but now I'm like fully a believer in doing affirmations and kind of willing your success into the universe. And every night I do tell myself that I attract business builders. I'm someone who's inspiring and positive. I have a team that is in momentum. I am an effective leader, things like that. So I, speak to myself in a positive way that's uplifting and encouraging and is helping me meet my goals. And so I think that is key for you to do that as well, because you'll notice that what you say to yourself will affect how you think, which will affect how you do your business, which affects the things you present on social media, the actions you take, all of that. And if it's positive from the beginning and effective from the beginning and productive from the beginning, everything else will follow suit. And you'll notice that those business builders and those people will be responding to that sort of attitude shift that you've had. So don't take that lightly. I didn't really notice that until like a year after I was in Plexus. But it can be a total game changer. Your mindset can be a total game changer, especially when it comes to attracting people who you want to be leaders and business builders on your team. If you're not somebody who's confident in your own abilities as well as this business and this opportunity and these products, then you're not going to attract anyone else that is either. So that's always just something to think about. That is kind of all I had for tonight, but I will kind of open it up for questions here in a minute, but I hope you guys got a lot out of that.